This week on Twende, we finally conclude our longest adventure ever. Tumekula ng'ombe, sasa imebaki mkia. But as they say, mkia unaweza kukunyonga. We show you behind the scenes how we pulled off this adventure. The hits and the misses. Challenges with the equipment. Oh, and we got another puncture. But until then, the adventure continues. After about 1,000 kilometers, this is where it has led to. We honestly had thought all our troubles were over and we would get to Marigat na kila kitu kitakuwa poa. However, we may have left Suguta Valley, but we are still in the larger Rift Valley, and so the adventure continues.
Unajua tumetoka wapi? Alafu hii na sea river ni still water. Exactly, still water, yeah. So hii inaweza pita. As long as it's tarmac. Yeah, exactly.
It has been an amazing adventure. Wacha tuanze from the beginning. Day one, we are leaving the most populous city in Kenya for one of the remotest locations.
Mojes mwenyewe kabisa.
We had to assemble the gear because we were prepared to go out for camping.
This is my mom. Say hello to my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
We were to drive from Nairobi to Maralal. Then on day 2, drive to Suguta and Lake Logipi, alafu tulale South Hor. Then drive to Loyangalani. Day 4 would see us in Sibiloi. Day 5, Ileret. Then day 6, drive to Marsabit National Park. Finally, day 7, drive back to Nairobi. Kupanga kwa map na information ya mtandao pamoja na kuongea kwa simu ni rahisi. Lakini kwa ground vitu vitakupinga chenga kama hopes za Arsenali. Day 1 saw us leave at 7 p.m. Instead of reaching Maralal like we had intended, we only got to Nyahururu at 1 a.m.
Good morning. Tuko hapa Nyahururu. It's been a good night. How long have we slept? Tulifika hapa past midnight. We slept at 4.
4 hours.
We slept 4 hours. So we've slept 4 hours. Ndio maana naona kichwa kidogo. But we are ready for the trip.
Day 2, asubuhi ilikuwa ngumu kutoka mapema. The challenge with our travels is that we don't drive to mara moja. We make stops to do stories on the road, so a stretch like Rumuruti, Marala, which should take about 1 hour, took us about 3 hours, but it was all worth it.
Inaitwa Twende. So wasi utembea tukionyesha wa Kenya sehemu tofauti ya huku hii nchi. Unajua si watu wengi utembea. So sasa vile tunasema kutembea, wewe unatembea unaenda wapi?
We even met a hard-working woman with her son. We finally got to Maralal where we met Lekupe, who had been helping us plan the trip. For over a year we had wanted to visit the valley, but he kept telling us it wasn't safe enough. Finally, after the short rains in November, he gave us the green light. After stocking up on water and fuel at Maralal, we left in the afternoon. We took a wrong turn and got lost for about 20 minutes. We used the Opiroi route, which is safer than the Marti route. And of course, we got distracted by Kirisia forest. Then we got to the viewpoint near Opiroi and the road going down from the highlands. Thankfully, we got to Baragoi at night without any incident. Instead of camping, we slept in a cheap hotel yenye choo ziko nje, a very common feature in the interior ya Kenya. In the morning on day 2, we left at 5 a.m. and met with our guide at Nachola camp. The drive was tougher than we had anticipated. Then got an incident with our tire but fixed it quickly. The distance from Baragoi to the valley floor is about 45 kilometers, but it takes hours because this is one of the worst roads we had ever been on. We got to the wet crater they call Sufuria Ngamia. Then we went to the village where we learned the person we were to interview had left, and we followed him to Kamuge village. From there we went to the dunes and arrived late in the day.
That's fine. Boom, 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 shaka, ona. Boom, 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 shaka.
We then left the valley late and had the challenge going up and getting stuck.
Right.
Our intention was to drive directly to Parketi, but it was too late, so we went to Nachola. Eventually, we got to camp where we had dinner. On day 4, we decided to take it a bit easy in Nachola. Tukapewa directions to get to Lake Logipi. It is on day 4 that we decided that we would cancel the Marsabit leg of the journey and just concentrate on Samburu and Turkana. In Twende, we are very versatile. After all, senior adventure. We drove to Baragoi to fill up on fuel and stock up on food. We used the Terte route and came across many jackals. There are no lodges, so we camped in the valley floor. There are also no restaurants, so we made our own food, then got treated to a spectacular night sky. In my opinion, Parketi is the best stargazing spot in all of Kenya. Day 5, we woke up very early and we left the camp as clean as we found it. Our intention was to get to the lake in an hour, be out by 9 a.m. Then we had the puncture and ended up getting late. Against the harsh heat of the Suguta Valley, life gathers in unexpected color. These are some of the most peaceful flamingos in Kenya, as this place is so remote that they rarely interact with their biggest enemy, man.
Hapa ndio Parkati. Ni hapa. Mwanidanganya.
We came back to Parkati, and to our surprise and fortune, it was the day for watering livestock. It wasn't in our plans, but surely, can we pass such an opportunity?
Sindio?
Our intention was to drive back to Nilokia, but then because we had the puncture, we had to go back to Baragoi. Who could the least number of spares you need to travel with, Nimbili? By now, news had spread in the valley that there is a Land Cruiser with media people moving around, and they mean well. So we felt kind of safe. It helps that we went talking to people, so news spread to all corners that the light brown Land Cruiser is carrying friendly TV people. There aren't many cars, and you don't want the locals feeling or perceiving that you are a threat. On day 6, we fixed the tire in the morning and left later than we had planned. We got a puncture number 2 where the tire was ripped beyond repair.
Okay.
We fixed the issue quickly as we had become good with the Tanganyika jack. We were to visit 2 other craters and Namusu pools. When we got into the water, and after what had already proved to be a tough journey, full of twists and turns, we forgot all about the other features.
Njora.
Okay, sir. Ready?
Yeah, go.
This week on Twende! In the evening, we experienced village life as we set up camp there. For most pastoralist communities in northern Kenya, the traditional staple food comes from livestock. Their diet is developed around animals because in areas such as Suguta Valley, farming is difficult. We discovered huku pia kuna wenyeji.
Unajua tenda kwa tent.
Wait, tenda kwa tent. Nataka kuidirect huko. Acha lete kamera.
Tenda kwa tent. Naenda kwa tent.
Ai, kende mu.
Day 7 saw us wake up in the valley again.
Umeona kamti? Kuna kamti kako hapo.
Kuna moja litupata jana, as you can see here. So hatuwezi ng'oa hii. We cannot remove this as at night right now.
As we are fixing the tire, we decide to give a suit we had carried to one of the residents.
Eish.
Uko sawa lakini hii kitu imekuwa panja serious.
Jane also carried her old magazines to give to the residents. We may take them for granted, but hardly any books come and many don't have smartphones here. So this is a good window to the outside world. We got news that there was a baby who had been born last night and we went to visit.
Ona, smile, 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 smile. Yeah?
Why do people stay in these lands despite the harsh conditions? Kuna wale anasema ingekuwa mimi ningekuwa nimehama kitambo. It is because for many of them this is the life they know, which has been passed on to them by their parents and their parents' parents and so on and so forth. In addition to that, these lands are prime real estate for pastoralists. Wide open spaces that supports large herds even in dry season. What makes the area around Baragoi a good place for livestock? Well, Baragoi sits at the meeting point of mountains and desert, giving pastoralists access to water, pasture, and movement. It is not an easy land, but for those who understand it, it is a land that sustains life. It has access to water from seasonal rivers, springs from surrounding mountains, and shallow wells. The area around Baragoi is a highland and receives more rainfall, thus regenerating pasture faster. There is no crop farming here, so the land is vast and open, which is ideal for livestock farming. What looks like a harsh desert is actually a carefully understood grazing system, where water, minerals, and movement make Suguta one of the most resilient livestock landscapes in northern Kenya. The main lifeline is the Suguta River, which provides drinking water for the large herds. There are also springs and pools fed by underground water. The animals reared here are indigenous breeds that are adapted to these harsh conditions. They thrive in hot and dry environments. Kumbuka, the communities are pastoralists and move between the desert and the highland at certain times and seasons. When there isn't interference in the weather patterns, the people and the livestock thrive. That is why, despite how harsh and dangerous this place is, the people can't move anywhere else. This is their land, their home, their life. It is who they are. The people of the valley don't want handouts. The desert provides what they need, and they have adapted to live in these harsh conditions. As long as the rains are regular and their livestock healthy, they will have all the food and resources they need. Climate change, however, is leaving them vulnerable. They need help to adapt better, and good infrastructure will mitigate such problems. They are born tough and are very resilient. In this harsh environment, which many people would struggle to survive, they are thriving. They just would like to have access to what other people in the country have. Access to good infrastructure.
Unajua mimi naamini maneno ya insecurity na mambo ya development, mimi naamini na stahili kuwa inaambatana. Wanza serikali wanasukuma mambo ya insecurity kusaidia, development inaingia. So hiyo itafanya watu haraka kusahau.
Ako matangai mara ito anu kwa na dia kagunur gua kwa itu dikiriat kijaribu akadolo akiyar ria.
Sisi hapa tuko kwa fali mahali ambayo kupata hata gari kutusaidia ni ngumu. Mtu hapa akigonjeka tunaweka juu ya punda tunapeleka Baragoi ama Turkana upande ya Lokori.
Hapa kuna changamoto mingi wakati wa mama wanajifungua. Hapa hakuna hospitali.
Mimi ningeomba sana hii barabara ya Suguta Valley from Baragoi to Suguta Valley is just 40 to 45 km to the bottom of the valley. Hiyo barabara ikitengelezwa mzuri, hata iweko mara mzuri, itafungua economy ya area sana. Na hizo livestock, mali mlikuwa pale Suguta, si mlikuta mifugo. Hao watu wote wangependa kwenda kununua mifugo from Baragoi, waende kununua mifugo from the Suguta, wakuje waulize wapatie other part ya Kenya. So hii barabara itafungua economy. Pande ya watalii wataenda kwa urahisi kwenda kwa access the sceneries kwa Suguta Valley. Upande ya economy ya area itafungua in terms of livestock. Barabara tungeomba sana tutengelezewe.
Ndio maana nimejaribu ku advise government kama muwezi fungua hapa na mnataka amani, hii fali itaikuwa na amani. Kama itakuwa locked, kama itakuwa locked, mimi kama kijana hapa nimesaidiwa maisha yangu yote hapa. Hapa, sinaona. So ninaelewa kwa nini nasema hivyo.
Without education there is no peace in this area.
Kuna methali tulikuwa nasema totitinyik yopote dang. Totitinyik Totitinyik epote dang.
Epote dang.
Fumulia yote itakufikia. Itakufikia.
Totitinyik
epote dang.
Epote dang. Totitinyik
epote
dang. Vumilia.
Fumulia yote utaipata.
One of the jewels of Suguta are the dunes in Nairobi. Sadly, there is no road here. Hata ile mbaya. It is just a track that one follows. Designating a road to the dunes would make it easier for many to reach the most magnificent dunes in East Africa. At Opiroi, the road isn't paved, but it is smooth enough even for small vehicles. That is because the hilly sections are paved with concrete. That is what can be done on the Baragoi to Kamuge section. It is about 60 kilometers long. The rest can be graded.
Hii ni kaa Rhino Challenge Twende edition.
Lakini ile mbaya zaidi is the less than 40 kilometer stretch from Nilukia to Aturkan. If that can be done, it will bring a lot of relief to the people like Irene who needs access to the hospital. However, it is important to point out that one reason some of these places remain wild and pristine as they are is because the bad roads discourage many people from settling or passing here. It is not a matter of if development is coming to Suguta, but rather when, and there lies the caution. Beneath Suguta's harsh landscape lies one of Kenya's least explored energy frontiers. Massive geothermal potential powered by ancient volcanoes still waiting to be tapped. Already at one side of Suguta in Silale, it is being developed by GDC, and there are plans to develop as far as the end of the valley at the barrier volcanoes near Parkati. The planned oil pipeline from South Sudan and Turkana oil fields is set to cross through the valley towards Lamu. There is also talk of mining potassium near Lake Logipi. It isn't confirmed, but conservationists are worried that if approved, it could be disastrous for the ecosystem. So development is coming, but there must be caution to protect this delicate ecosystem. The crew have been amazing. Filming in this harsh landscape was not easy. We didn't have the luxury of time, so that meant filming on the move, sometimes even running ahead of the vehicle. At Kamuge, it was so hot that Jane's camera stopped working for a while. Even though there is no electricity in the valley, tulikuwa na power.
We are going into Suguta Valley. We're not going to be around a lot of amenities. So we have the solar panel here. Yeah. Of course, tuko na driver wetu hapa. You can't go without, Jemo. And Jemo has done such a good job, bana. Pali muko, ebu muone. Mpigieni makofi. Hadi akatoa. Ilikuwa cardio. So, but we have a cooler box. We have food here. We have a cooker. If things got thick, we can stay here. We even have some tents. We can cook. Alafu sasa ndio asubuhi tupange suluhisho.
While in the valley, I had a chance encounter with someone I had met in an earlier trip.
Haya, twende.
Nyai. Ngarak na kopi. We were with Asia Ruko Kapedo. Na alinipatia, unakumbuka zile nguo nilikuwa navaa? Yeye ndo alinipatia. Si ndio? Hata singekumbuka. Ni vizuri umenikumbusha. Singekumbuka. Ilikuwa mwaka gani hata? Ilikuwa 23 hapo Silikuwa nikakufunga hata shiti. Tukatembea hiyo Katown. Director, huyu tuko naye Kapedo. Alinivalisha hata nguo za Kiturkana. Ni huyu. Viatu hata ndio amenikumbusha. Ndio huyu. Okay. NPR. What's NPR? National Police Service. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yes, we had a challenge with tires because of the bad roads. However, we would come to learn later that we shouldn't have come with brand new tires with deep tread. It makes the tires very vulnerable to the sharp rocks piercing. Also, we should have overinflated the tires to 60 psi instead of deflating, which is what we did. Now, we know better. So don't have deep tread on the tires and inflate to 60 psi. Nevertheless, Jemo was up to the task and safely transported us through very tough terrain. Also, our beast has been amazing. Never once did we have any breakdown, any coughs or cause to worry. And all this has led to this moment where we are about to do a deep water crossing.
Sasa hizi kabla hii mvua ianze. Kwa sasa hii unajua kunanyesha. You see the rain. So let's just
Twende.
Lake Baringo has risen, cutting off the main route. Lakini we have come too far to turn back now. Tumekula ng'ombe, sasa imebaki mkia. But as they say, mkia unaweza kukunyonga. We are through. The tires are holding up well and we make our way to Nairobi. But just before we get to Kikuyu, we got a tire burst after hitting the rumble strips. It is a tire that had been patched up. Fortunately, we came to a safe stop.
And we are done. We have actually changed that tire. in the fastest time compared to all the other times. Sindio? Tumechange faster than tumewaka kama team. Sasa tunajua. Hata nimefeel kama tulikuwa nafanya safari rally. We do it 6 more times. We can do it in under
Everybody can do it alone.
Under a minute. 6 more times we'll be able to do it, not under a minute, under 3 minutes. No, we don't have any other spare. Look at this. Look at this. Look here. Hii ndio tulichomelea. Hii imejaribu sana. Si ndio? Imejaribu sana. Imetoka Suguta Valley. Kapita Kapedo. Imefika Zambezi. Hii imejaribu.
We must admit, this trip was a bit costly as 2 tires were damaged beyond repair and the other 2 had to be replaced. Would we do it again? Unasema nini? This has been an unforgettable experience. I think we have almost covered the length and breadth of Suguta.
Silale is the largest caldera in the Gregory Rift Valley.
In 2021, we visited Silale Crater, which is on the southern side of the valley.
Na nikiuliza, hii jazi si ya Pokot, ni ya Chelsea. Hapa watu wamependa football sana.
Napenda hii.
On this trip, we have gone as far as Lake Logipi near the barrier volcanoes. I have been to places I never thought existed in this country. Next week, we start a new adventure. Kuna wale wanasema, kwani mulienda kuishi Suguta? Next week, we start a new adventure.
So sasa, hapa ndio umesema wanakaa.
Hapa sasa ndio mama ya moto sasa.
Seen a cheetah live in the wild before. This is not usual. Ati tunatafuta waterfall, zionekani kawaida, inakuanga hardship. But leo tunatafuta waterfall kwa hii barabara na kuna magorofa kando.
Tumetoka kwa jangwa, sasa tunakupeleka kwa jungle.
But until then, the adventure continues.